Hello, and welcome to the Excellence Foresight podcast. I'm your host, Nancy Nouaimeh, a culture transformation and organizational excellence consultant, a leadership coach, and a youth mentor. And my passion is to make excellence an everyday habit. Whether you're striving for organizational excellence or pursuing excellence on a personal level, this podcast will bring you practices that matter now and for the future. And you might want to stay connected with us to make excellence one of your new habits. In this episode titled The Infinite Game, A Visionary Lens for Excellence, we zoom in on the essence of visionary and successful leadership. As you tune in, I invite you to contemplate your own leadership approach and how it aligns with the insights that I will be sharing in this podcast. Drawing inspiration from Simon Sinek, The Infinite Game, in today's episode, we'll untangle the infinite game mindset. The name itself carries a visionary connotation, don't you think? In addition to the infinite game itself, we will dive into two interconnected excellence principles. The first one, leading with humility, and the second one, system thinking. You might not be familiar with what principles are, so let me pause and share that. The gravity is the easiest example to understand the principle concept. A principle is universal, timeless, and specially governs consequences. If you put your leg in the air and step forward on a rooftop, you will fall. This is the truth behind the gravity principle. Dr. Stephen Covey, author of the best-selling book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, once said, "There are 3 constants in life: change, choice, and principles." These 3 are the core of our episode today. So let's first delve deeper into the infinite game. To grasp this concept, I think it's very helpful to begin with a definition of what finite games are. The contrary of infinite games, of course. Think of preparing for a football game, for example. In a football game, the rules are well defined. There's a clear winner and loser at the end, the players are familiar, and sometimes even the outcomes are predictable. Finite games revolve around the pursuit of victory, outperforming others, striving to be the best, or claiming the top spot. This is a scenario that often resonates in various aspects of our business world today. In contrast, infinite games involve both known and unknown players, as opposed to finite games, which typically involve only known players. In an infinite game, there are no precise or universally agreed upon rules, no definitive finish line, and no practical end to the game. The concept of winning simply doesn't apply to infinite game. I would like us to consider this concept from both an individual personal perspective and a professional one. Let us look at marriage or friendship as examples of the infinite game concept from a personal perspective. When we enter marriage or form close relationships, we often anticipate facing numerous challenges as we navigate the journey of building a life together, raising a family, or simply fostering deep connections. These relationships are indeed journeys and not one-time-offs events. The happiest and most successful marriages are often those approached with an infinite mindset, where the focus is on the team's enduring happiness and the lifelong journey together. And you definitely can ask my husband about this. In groups or teams where individuals embrace an infinite mindset, you will likely observe significantly higher levels of trust, cooperation, and innovation among team members. It's not about competition or striving to be the best and winning. Instead, it's about supporting and lifting each other with a collective focus on the betterment of everyone in the group. Now, you might be wondering, how does this translate for you, leaders, and your organizations? This is the same in the professional business world, but definitely more complex than what you see in personal lives. Someone said once, "Business, like life, isn't about ending at the finish line. It's about the resilience of continuing the race." Infinite players in business, they aim for 2 main things. They play to continue the game and construct organizations that can thrive beyond their leadership and can flourish across generations. They also utilize their careers to enhance the long-term value of the company and its impact on its people, the community, the economy, the country, and even the world. Value for them is not just monetary. The true value of an organization in this context is measured by the desire others have to contribute to that organization's ability to keep succeeding, not just during the time the leaders are there, but well beyond their own tenure. The infinite dimension is an ideal situation that might not frequently be observed. And we all experience in the real business world more finite mindset players rather than infinite mindset players. And I think you might be agreeing with me on this. Now I will share 3 characteristics for each of the finite and infinite mindset that you could use as a quick self-assessment as you go through this podcast. When it comes to finite mindset, players do not like surprises. They fear any kind of disruption. They cannot predict or cannot control situations, and these could be upsetting for their plans and increasing their chances of losing. Finite mindset players place unbalanced focus on near term results, often employing any strategy or tactique that helps them make the numbers. For example, layoffs, cutting corners in manufacturing, or even quality control. In contrast, the infinite mindset players expect surprises, even revels in them, and are prepared to be transformed by them. They focus on making their teams and organizations more resilient, and they focus on long term results and impact. In other terms, they ensure their business is sustainable in the future. Now, having heard this, which mindset do you have? As we move on, I would like you to remember that an infinite perspective frees companies from fixating on what other companies are doing, which allows them to focus on a larger vision. Usually, they embrace business as a journey, like what we say about excellence. Excellence is a journey. This is the magic of thinking big and seeing opportunities in the big picture. The story of Victorinox, the Swiss company, is an amazing example to learn from. So let me share it with you. Victorinox faced a significant transformation in response to bans related to increased security measures in airports and other public spaces after 2001. These bans affected the company's core product, the Swiss Army knife, which we all know, which had been a popular travel accessory for many years. This posed a major challenge for the company, and they had to adapt their business model and product offerings. So, how did they do that? They redesigned their knives to be more travel friendly and compliant with security rules. They focused on diversification and expanded their product range into various categories, such as watches, luggage, fragrances, clothing, allowing them to tap into new markets and leverage innovation to do so. They remained committed to their brand values of quality, precision, and reliability, reassuring customers that their product line was evolving while their commitment to excellence and craftsmanship remained unchanged. The company also focused on expanding its global footprint, reaching new customers in emerging markets, and establishing a strong online presence. This helped them mitigate the impact of regional bans and market fluctuations. While the Swiss Army knife remains a symbol of the brand, Victorinox had strong values, standards, and processes that helped it adapt quickly without impacting its quality and reputation in the process. It focused on the long term and not just immediate and quick fixes to a challenging situation they faced. They thrived. Now, how can this help you as a leader? One of the 5 things listed by Simon Sinek for a leader to adopt an infinite mindset, and the most interesting and unique one in my opinion, is demonstrate the courage to lead. And I've been teaching this in my workshops lately. This is where I think the other 2 concepts that I've mentioned in the beginning of the podcast, lead with humility and system thinking, the 2 excellence principles we teach in the Shingo model, strongly intersect with the infinite leader mindset traits. So let us start with the first one, leading with humility. What does this mean? Humble leaders prioritize the needs and growth of all their stakeholders. They cherish partnerships, build connections, and collaboration. They look beyond the short-term wins and help people achieve wonderful things to positively impact others. Humble leaders have the courage to lead right, stop and think, challenge the status quo, and take a longer but better road, if need be, rather than quick wins to challenging situations. System thinking, a very impactful principle for both organizations and individuals when applied whether in planning or daily management of activities. It provides you with the capabilities to have a holistic view and encourages looking at the big picture and understanding how different parts of a system are interconnected, like the human body. This perspective helps in making more informed decisions and often involves a long-term perspective, considering the long-term consequences of actions and decisions rather than focusing solely on short-term gains. At the end of this episode, I would like to share 3 practical actions that integrate humility, system thinking, and the infinite game mindset to promote a more holistic and forward-thinking approach to leadership, decision-making, and personal development. First, focus on relationships and collaboration within a systemic context. Cultivate strong relationships with colleagues, partners, and stakeholders, understanding that success often depends on the collective efforts of a team or network. When making decisions, think beyond short-term gains or wins, aligning your actions with the principles of an infinite game. Apply system thinking to evaluate how your choices contribute positively to the long-term well-being of the system, and strive for excellence in creating sustainable and meaningful impact. Number 2, embrace a learning mindset and pursue excellence. Adopt a mindset that values continuous learning, growth, and excellence. Be open to feedback, acknowledge your limitations, and actively seek opportunities to expand your knowledge and skills while striving for excellence in your endeavors. This will take some strong commitment and dedication to change. Not necessarily an easy one, though. Adapt wisely to challenges. Be courageous to make tough decisions when necessary. Refocus on your core priorities and your true north, and maintain a people centered approach even during difficult times. Be authentic and transparent. It makes impact on people and increases their trust in your leadership. By combining humility, system thinking, and the infinite game mindset in your approach to leadership and personal development, you can definitely create a more holistic and forward thinking perspective that values growth, collaboration, and sustainable impact and multiplied advantages. In conclusion, and at the end of this episode, these principles are far more than buzzwords. They form the very foundation of a flourishing leadership mindset and a compelling leadership fabric that, in my perspective, serve as catalyst for sustainable success in leadership. Let me leave you with this question to reflect on. Again, are you a leader with a finite or an infinite game player mindset? Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for our next episode addressing the habit of change. Engage with us, be part of the Excellence Foresight community, and subscribe to our newsletter on LinkedIn. Thank you for joining us, and let's be the change we want to see in the world. Let's shape a brighter future together.